This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
It's time for Overrated, Underrated with Ryder and Lisa.
Today I'm going with something that is underrated, and it is the banana, because it comes with its own carrying package. Mm-hmm. You can use it as a pretend phone.
Well, and like the fact that, okay, the phone thing's a bit of a stretch, but the fact that the carrying case comes off so easy as well. Like you could say the same about a coconut, but man,
it's tough.
Real tough.
Yeah, you get your daily amount of potassium. Let's say somebody around you passes out.
Banana.
You can feed them a banana when they wake up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, it's got a lot of sugar in it, but it's natural sugar. Look how efficient monkeys are. That could be you.
I bet Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson eats at least 6 bananas a day.
So the gym that I go to, yesterday I showed up, and before the class started, I had to spit my sugary gum out. And I opened the garbage bin. It's just banana peels. That's it. That's all that fit people eat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's just so fit.
Yeah.
And like, if you burn the sugar off, you can eat it. All right, I agree. Bananas are underrated.
Love it.
I'm going underrated as well, and it's when you have free time and you find a binge-worthy show, and those worlds just line up. Quite often for me, I'll be in a busy stretch, have my daughter, have things to do with work, be working on other things, and then I find a show I want to binge, and it's like, no, there's too much going on.
I don't have time for you.
You end up having to binge it late at night when you'd normally be in bed. It's just terrible. But for some reason, when I have a bunch of free time, can't find anything to binge. So I just when those worlds align and you have the free time and you find the show worth binging, it's a real nice connection.
I'm going to agree with you.
Thank you.
There was a week stretch where I had literally nothing to do, and I just crushed Succession. Oh, and Veep.
Yeah, you went nuts that week.
Oh, and Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I was glued to the couch.
That's when you got the body sores from not moving, right?
Yeah.
Play 107.
My story today is local. It's about 2 different Edmonton constables. So Ash Lougheed is a constable here in Edmonton, and he recalled being in a lot of pain when he was in the hospital as a 9-year-old, and a cop sat down beside him to comfort him, ended up leaving and coming back with a teddy bear. And he said that changed his whole career path. He would always dress up as a police officer on Halloween, and now is a constable here in Edmonton.
Cute.
So that was 22 years ago. He said he's always wondered who that cop was, if he was still on the force, if he would ever run into him, and even wrote a letter with a teddy bear on it as a 9-year-old, sent it to him. And it turns out that the other cop was cleaning out his desk recently and found the letter, saw the name.
Really?
Was like, oh my God, we know each other. So they worked together.
No way.
So they had been alongside each other in their CrossFit classes together.
Yeah.
He actually helped train him. And all along, it was the same police officer that comforted him as a 9-year-old at the hospital.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so cool.
Tell me something good.
Our stories have something in common today. Mine involves some police officers as well that stepped up big time. A young boy in Las Vegas who apparently starts school a lot earlier than we do here. Just headed back into school for his first day. His dad couldn't be there, sadly, because he passed away because of complications due to COVID-19 earlier in the summer. So for his first day of school, he was quite surprised when his dad, who was a police officer's coworkers, picked him up to escort him to the first day of school. So he got to ride in the cop car. 3 different officers went with him just to show their support of the family and the dad who this little guy lost.
Now, that is the best way to show up
at
school.
Big time.
Maybe. There could be some rumors. Whoa.
In elementary school, it's cool because it's whoa, cool.
Whoa.
How'd you get a ride in that? And then in high school, it's kind of badass.
True.
Tell me something good.
So we do Crazy Wagers, often associated with Nostalgia Off, which runs Thursday morning at 8:10. every Thursday. And it's where we come up with a list of different things that'll throw you back to your childhood. You decide whose list hits you harder, and then the loser has to do something. Mm-hmm. This is the worst embarrassment by far for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the worst punishment for losing. Lisa got to choose a bumper sticker for my car, and not a small bumper sticker. It is the entire bumper of my car.
Yeah. So actually, it wasn't just me. I did a poll on Twitter. And so you can't just blame me. There were over 600 votes, and majority of them wanted this. So big thank you to Prairie Decals, who showed up yesterday at the Tim Hortons parking lot to put this on the back of Ryder's vehicle. It says honk if you're horny, but it's in huge letters, and there's 2 geese on each side that look like they're yelling. Honking.
Yeah.
It is so good. And the fact that they had the sense of humor to be like, oh yeah, we'll make it out there. It's not just going to be a little sticker that you put at the corner of your bumper. You can buy those on Amazon.
Yeah.
No, we supported local. Thank you, Prairie Decals. Highly recommend them.
It's
Great
huge.
guys. It's huge. It's so embarrassing to drive with that on the back.
So went for a drive as part of the punishment as well. And
Yep.
so we could get a little video of it. And off the start, I was just like so embarrassed that this is on my car.
Because it doesn't look like you're kidding.
No, it doesn't. No. And like I'm a bald dude in a convertible already. Like it's already like not embarrassing, but just you set yourself up for like judgment. Because people are like, oh, look at this guy.
Of course he has a convertible because he doesn't have hair that will get in his eyes.
No, I didn't. But okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But you add that sticker and like it looks legit. If you put that on Volkswagen Beetle, people would think like, oh, you're being silly. But people think that I probably want to know who's horny out there and want them to honk at me.
So how many honks have you gotten so far? Because Prairie Decals were so funny. As they drove off, they honked. So that's one. We're going to keep a tally.
Okay, so like I said, when I started driving, I was embarrassed about having it. And then about 10 minutes into the drive, I started to become incredibly embarrassed that nobody had honked yet.
Oh, no.
So all of a sudden, I was like, are people not horny?
Or they just aren't horny for you.
I guess.
How does it work? Does anyone else have this decal? How does it work? And how many honks do you get? I think over the next month, while we keep the decal on, we are going to keep a tally and keep the listeners updated. And if you do see Ryder rolling around the city, make sure you give him a couple honks, or don't. It's funnier if you don't. If you want to see the decal, we have posted it all over Play 107's social media accounts. Play 107 YEG is where you can find us. Go give it a like. Go give Prairie Decals a like.
I will tell you that I got a honk.
You got one?
And it felt good. I was on the white mud, and I even celebrated by throwing my hands up in the air when the honk happened. I'm not sure if the person maybe recognized me or if they were in fact horny.
Awesome.
And that's why they were honking.
Both things are great.
Colin has texted in saying, I'm sorry that my idea was chosen, Ryder.
See, it's not just me, man. Everyone was voting for it. It could have been a Calgary Flames logo, which you would have hated, but I don't think it's that uncommon. You see them all over the city, so it's not that big of a punishment.
I would rather have a Calgary Flames decal and wear full-on Calgary Flames gear for a month than have honk if you're horny on the back of my car. It's awful. And like, I have to drive around with my 9-year-old in that car. Well, I do. Like, she's gone for the next couple weeks to her grandma's, but then like, it's just...
You can borrow my car for when you're driving with her.
You can get 30 honks from me, buddy. One every day. I'm horny every day, man.
Too much information, dude. Appreciate it, though.
I feel sorry for your daughter. Doesn't school start in a couple weeks? Oh, Ryder, how many mums will be beeping at you?
Ooh, that's true. Miles making a very good point. You should just make sure Charlie doesn't see it.
How?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Huge. You gotta like back the car up into the garage so tight to the wall that you can't walk around it. She'll be very confused while people are honking at us.
If you want to check it out, a lot of people seem to be enjoying it on social media. Play 107 YEG.
Ryder and Lisa.
A viral story of a woman who had a flag of Tigger from Winnie the Pooh hanging from her house. Lady comes up and is like, no, you can't have this flag.
She just knocked on the door and she said, I don't like it. And the woman's like, okay. Well, and I never complain about your shrubs not being trimmed. I don't complain about your yard, but the Tigger flag is too far. I don't like it. And the woman's like, all right, whatever. Have a good day. It's got 2 million views on just one profile alone, let alone her TikTok that has gone super viral.
I do agree that it does make the neighborhood look a little tacky. The flag is not very nice. It's like turquoise. It's really loud.
Her kid put it up. It's not going to be there forever.
Right. But this lady wanted I think the American flag back up again.
So we wanted to ask you about things that your neighbors have complained about that you did. Mm-hmm. Ashley texted in saying, I live on an acreage. I had a neighbor 2 doors down get annoyed with me that her dogs would get out and come hang out with my dogs. Somehow her dogs getting out was my fault. I guess she was right because my dogs are the best.
Michelle said that she got a complaint from the neighbors that her food smelled too good that she was cooking. And if she could try to do something about that.
Okay, but they had to have been joking or like hinting that they wanted leftovers.
You know what? Like when you live in an apartment and the neighbor is cooking, it's in your place.
Yeah.
Like you can smell. So I could see if you're like, just bologna sandwiches tonight, and then all of a sudden you smell a lasagna from next door, that would be frustrating. I would never see myself going as far as complaining about it, but...
Let us know about something that happened where a neighbor complained about you. Janice texted in saying, the woman upstairs complained about me using our backyard. She thought it was hers. After 3 years, it became a screaming fight and I won. She gets the deck and the yard is mine.
Really?
Good for you, Janice. You put your foot down.
What do you got for us?
Well, they came over to my house when I had just got in from walking my dog, and they were like, hey, we noticed that every time you walk by with your dog sniffs our flower beds. And if you could just pull him away when you do that, would be really great. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, he doesn't pee on them. He just smells your flowers. Yeah, it'd be great if you didn't do that.
But do you think that maybe they're concerned that, like, his next move is going to be to pee on the flowers? That might be the route?
Possibly, but I was like, he doesn't pee on them. I try to make sure he doesn't pee on other people's lawns.
Imagine being so angry and sad that you don't even let other people smell the flowers.
That's a sad way to put it, but yeah.
So I used to live in a duplex that had a shared laundry suite, and the neighbors would do their laundry and then leave it in the washing machine for like 3 days at a time.
Oof.
And the one day I needed to do laundry, and it had been sitting there for 10 hours at that point. So I took their laundry out and put it on a folding table in the laundry room.
Yeah.
And then they called the landlord to complain that their clothes went moldy. And it wouldn't have mattered. They were going to be moldy anyways because they didn't go down and either hang them up or put them in the dryer.
Right. And you're not going to put them all in the dryer. You don't know which ones they want to hang up and which ones they want in the dryer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for the call. I actually have an idea.
What?
Oh, this would work really well. All you'd have to do is open the washing machine and insert like a pair of underwear. And then they'll
like
be like,
with their load?
Exactly. And then they'll be like, who the hell's underwear are these? Then they break up, they move out.
Oh,
new
wow.
neighbors, right?
That is petty.
That would work real good, though.
I do feel like the laundry situation would start some serious fights to begin with. I'd
Totally.
be so annoyed if someone's laundry was still in there.
Yeah.
So hit us up with something that a neighbor complained about. This is a first-time text. No name was signed, but I thought it was quite interesting. They wrote, neighbor complained about my boyfriend's coughing on the balcony. He has chronic cough plus tics and can't help it. The condo board actually fined us $500
What?
for breaking noise bylaw.
No.
Yeah. Sherry texted in saying, my neighbor complained that I park too close to the yellow line in my own parking space, which, by the way, was developed in the 70s for tinier cars.
Right.
But now that we all drive SUVs, she writes in, hang on a second while I shrink my vehicle to accommodate you. And this text from Tara is crazy. My neighbor thought my husband's truck was too loud while he warmed it up in the winter before work. He legit would get out of his house in the morning and go and turn off my husband's vehicle. Get inside of it and turn off the engine.
So ridiculous.
No.
What do you got for us?
Our condo board has a message forum online where we can talk to each other about things and just let people know about stuff. And she said that she has been seeing mice in the hallway. And Rhoda posted on the message forum saying that people really need to stop holding open the door for the mice and stop letting them into the building.
So she thought people were doing this intentionally?
Yeah, like she thought that we were all just like holding open the doors and being like, come on, mice, get on it.
My name's Cinderella. Come on in.
Yeah.
Play 107.
This might be a little bit awkward, but I need to talk to you about something.
What?
It involves a family member of yours. So I took your niece and nephew and my daughter for ice cream.
Yeah.
On the way back, as you know, my daughter is addicted to garage sales. And there was a garage sale on our walk back.
Did they steal something?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it might be more serious than that. You need to have a good chat with your nephew.
Okay, so I have a 5-year-old nephew and a 6-year-old niece. What did he do? Because that's young.
Yeah. So
What's the lesson?
Go through the garage sale. Everything is pretty good, other than they decided to like touch pretty much everything there. But the kids will be kids.
Oh, did he pull his pants down all the way to go to the washroom?
No, no, none of that.
Been doing that too. You know how they kids when they start to learn, they like drop their pants all the way down?
Yeah, I know. I did that until I was about 18, 17. So no, as we're leaving, we're walking about a half block away. I'm like, oh, where's Joey? So I turn around and he hadn't followed us. Instead, there was a man who seemed like a nice elderly man in a van giving him candy.
No.
From the van. Like reaching out of the van and putting candy into his palm. And I know that like what rule number 1 was growing up was don't take candy from a stranger. And what rule number 2 was don't deal with guys in vans.
No. Oh my gosh.
He thought he hit the jackpot, but
did he keep the candy?
No, we told him to get rid of the candy.
How did that happen so quickly?
So quickly. And like as ridiculous as it was that I turned around and saw it, and like because I was there, I'm thankful I was there.
Yes.
And it was funny to me that like, wow, you really screwed that one up, bud, on this test run of safety. Because I was there.
What's the number 1 rule, Joey?
And the number 2 rule. Like, so he was disappointed.
What kind of van was it? Was it white?
No.
Were the windows tinted?
It wasn't like,
okay,
it
good.
wasn't as bad as, you know what I mean?
I genuinely think this old man was a sweetheart.
Well, and when I yelled back and said, Joe, what the hell are you doing? The old guy, you could tell, felt really bad.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was like, oh, yeah, this does look bad.
Oh, right. I drove the van today. I usually drive the car.
Or the scooter.
Yeah.
The scooter would have been more appropriate in this situation. Anyway, you may want to have a chat with your nephew about the number 1 and number 2 rule.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.